You may have seen the commercials, attorney Mark Cantor with a bow and arrow in the woods saying, don't settle for the little dough, get the big bucks. This next segment has been brought to you by Cantor Injury Law. And joining me today is Mark Cantor, senior partner and founder of Cantor Injury Law. Mark, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And I just wanted to throw it out there. You're actually an animal lover. How did you come up with the big bucks idea?
Well, it's a play on words. I am a conservationist, and I love animals, and I maintain over 100 acres of woods for natural habitat in Missouri, which is great for the animals. So I love animals. I love dogs. We have horses and goats and chickens. So some people have misinterpreted that. It's not about, you know, dough is a play on word because it can be money, yep. or a dough, and bucks can be money or get the big bucks, but because I'm a hunter, it's get the big bucks.
Get the big bucks. And I've actually been to your property. It's beautiful. It's kind of, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's a gorgeous property where some of your clients actually come out, spend some time with you. But what are your feelings about dog ownership, Mark?
Well, I love dogs. I mean, yesterday at Cantorland, which is that retreat center, I had 5 dogs. I believe every dog deserves an owner, but not every owner deserves a dog. And there are no bad dogs, but there are bad owners. Missouri has strict liability for dogs. So an owner or possessor of a dog is liable, and their homeowner's insurance will cover that claim, or their renter's insurance. So I have strong beliefs about dogs. I love them, but I think people need to be responsible for their ownership.
I mean, what are some of those responsibilities when we are talking about dog ownership?
Well, train your dogs. And if your dog is vicious, and there are some dogs that are vicious, and once you know that, although that's not the standard in Missouri. Missouri, any bite, you don't have to prove vicious propensities anymore. But if the dog is vicious and it's attacked someone, you've got to deal with that. That dog cannot be around people.
What happens if a dog does attack someone or another dog? What should they do first? Well,
obviously you want to get everyone safe and secure and get the medical care that required. Call the police, call animal control. You know, we've had cases with rabies. So if a dog or animal, we actually had a bear bite a person at a petting zoo. And, you know, the way they check for rabies is they cut off the animal's head, and they didn't want to do that. It was a big deal. And I didn't intend to go there with this, but we handle animal attacks all the time. And so you're responsible for your pets, but dogs have strict liability in Missouri.
Okay, that is good to know. And I have another follow-up question for you. I mean, what if there is a dog bite or a dog attack, but no physical injury is done? Does that mean we have it? Is there a case, or?
We don't handle frivolous lawsuits, so if you're not injured, we don't want it. I mean, you can call around, but Cantor Injury Law won't handle that. That's not what we do. It doesn't match our ethic, which is we want real and legitimate Missouri cases. We're local. We're in the show me state. We're not some of these guys on TV that are just advertising, trying to collect every ridiculous case. If it's not true, you know, if I'm mucking it out of my horse stall, you know, go someplace else. You know?
Okay, Mark, I mean, that was a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Well, St. Louis, if you find yourself injured in a serious injury case and you need some representation, you quite literally want the big bucks and not the little dough, but you really truly just want justice for an incident that has happened, especially when it comes to dog bites, dog attacks, animal injuries. We'll make sure you have access to Cantor Injury Law by visiting them online at cantorinjurylaw.com, or you can simply pick up the phone, give them a call. That number to dial is 314-628-9999. One more time, it's 314-628-9999.